It's time for the BSing with the Guys live podcast.
Welcome to the show. Stay with us as we get into that not so booming economy that Trump promised us we were going to get and what it might mean for the Republicans if it doesn't change by the midterms. I also want to talk about the latest in this U.S.-Iran conflict and how all parties involved are saying different things when it comes to ending this. And I want to get the viewers' opinion on whether or not Trump took it too far when basically celebrating Robert Mueller's death. And, of course, like always, wherever else the chats and our brains take us. But first, Justin, let me ask you something. How in the hell does someone or a group of someones fly drones that were loitering for 4 hours per session, forcing flight halts plus at least one shelter-in-place order without being taken out when they're doing this shit over a U.S. Air Force base? How does that happen? And they don't even know where the fuck these things came from.
They don't know where the drones are coming from?
They're saying they don't know. So how does that happen? For 4 hours each session, basically. These things were allowed.
Because, like, even if they didn't want to use, like, live munitions on it, like, you would think there'd be something. You know?
Something.
Yeah. I mean, it
like
was over there at
a net?
At Barksdale Air Force Base. You know,
That's like right in our hometown, man. Home state.
Yeah, it's fucking nuts, man. I don't understand how you could sit there and have these swarms of drones that they were saying, and like I said, they would sit there for up to 4 hours in basically a restricted fucking area, and then nothing was done about it.
It's nuts to me that they really don't know. Just getting into the drone thing and realizing how many like standards and there really is on drone flight. You know, that anything like that could happen is crazy. Because I know if it were my drone, if I was 20 feet into a restricted fucking private airport space, the FBI would be at my fucking door.
Exactly. And they said these drones, they showed jamming resistance, long-range controls. So I guess they know, they were from far away, but non-commercial signals and just deliberate maneuvering, varying routes and just testing responses, I guess. It's crazy, man. As I mentioned, they forced flights to be halted, a shelter in place on March 9th, which was quickly lifted, but it's just repeated disruptions. And there was no, kinetic action. I mean, shooting them down or anything like that. It's just odd that we allow that to happen. I would say unless it was ours, but then what would be the big secret? Okay, we're flying drones.
Maybe, could it be Iran testing our response to drones?
That's kind of what some of the theories are on it. It could be, like you said, just seeing how far they can push it with these drones. Now, China always comes into the mix, a mention of potential CCP intelligence, which that seems to be everything that's unexplained in the air. It's China trying to gather intelligence. So who knows? It just, to me, it doesn't seem good when you could just fly shit like that around an Air Force base and nothing comes of it.
That's crazy because, like I said, I know the restrictions they have on them when you buy the fucking things and you fly them. And, they seem to be fairly strict. And then to just be able to fly into a military base and they're like, no big deal. Fuck it.
Yeah, no big deal. I just don't get how they can't somewhat track these things or, within 4 hours, take the fucking things out.
Right.
It should worry people if it is what they say it is, that, as far as it being some unknown source flying these things around, I would think that would worry everybody, that somebody's able to get in here and do that in these places where nobody should be flying anything without permission. And then
did they show pictures of the drones?
I hadn't seen any. No, I hadn't seen any. Might not even be real. Maybe another distraction. Who knows?
I just didn't know if they were these big ass fucking like transport drones or if they were like little mini fucking,
I don't know. Yeah, all I know is they didn't release a lot of details after the fact, after it came out, because they hadn't even, I want to say that it got leaked that this even happened. So of course they're not going to give you any more details than they have to, but like I said, it doesn't look good. I mean, if somebody can fly them things from God knows where, I mean, just them ones that you buy yourself and fuck around with have what, 5 mile fucking
5, 10, 12 mile range.
So imagine what these governments that really get into developing these things, the type of distance they can get. I mean, hell, we're already doing drone bombs, all over the fucking place. So who knows? But I don't know.
I think we need inquiries on Capitol Hill. Let them discuss that for a while and see.
Come up with nothing.
Come up with nothing. Yeah. After 3 weeks and $20 million worth of investigations, we don't know.
We still don't know.
Where you at, Matt? How you doing, brother? I see you in the
What's
chat,
up, Matt?
too.
Let's see. But you can't just. I want to pull up a comment here about these drones. But you can't just shoot any drone. There must be well, I understand that, but you also, I would think, flying them in a restricted area, like over a U.S. air base, then that right there is reason enough to take these things out. Let me go do it. I mean, to me, it's a threat if you're not supposed to be there. But
absolutely. I mean,
or at least know
the drone itself and then, the video recording capabilities of them. And I can understand not just going around shooting every drone you see in the air, but once it comes into a restricted area, I mean,
right.
Fair game.
Like, what do you think they would do if you took a drone and you had just some, an odd looking box with some wire sticking out of it and you fly it right above the White House?
Yeah. They're not going to wait to see.
No, I don't know that they're going to ask very many questions before they try to do something about it.
Yeah. Well, like I said, shooting them down and at least finding out where the fuck they came from. I mean, it's, I guess, two different things, but they could at least do that instead of just hiding it and then telling America, we don't fucking know. I mean, I don't know why they would, lie. If they knew where they came from, you would think they'd say, oh, yeah, we know, we got it under control. But for them to just say, I don't know, we don't know, we can't track them, doesn't sound too good. I almost refuse to believe, though, that the government isn't that sophisticated to track these things. But so it makes you wonder what's really going on. But who knows?
Yeah, because we never really found out about the last set of drones that were fucking terrorizing that military base.
Shit just kind of went away. I mean, they flew them big-ass drones across the country, basically, and just,
Was that the balloons you're talking about, Connor?
No, it was when them actual drone. I remember the balloon that went all the way. They waited till it got to the other side of the country to shoot it down. But no, that was when them big. Everybody kept describing them as like SUV-sized drones. Flying in certain areas near bases, military bases and all. And they never really gave us a good explanation for it. And that was another one. I don't know, maybe they didn't know and they just don't want to say that. But who knows? Anyway.
Aliens.
I think that's what it is. That's what I'm going with for sure. For sure. Now, just talking to a lot of people around here, and we're in a heavy red area down here in Louisiana as far as a lot of Trump supporters, man. And the ones I'm talking to, man, there's a good portion of them that aren't happy about this economy and these gas prices. They looking at it like broken promises on energy dominance. I mean, Trump's base, they expected this drill baby drill to deliver cheap gas. I mean, it just doesn't seem like it's happening. I mean, the national average is now almost $4 a gallon, driven, of course, by this U.S.-Iran war. But, I mean, still in all, you figure there's got to be something he can do about this. I mean, the biggest problem is it's working class families in both blue and red states who feel, that extra $20 to $40 per fill up. I mean, that shit adds up, man. I would imagine, a lot of them starting to feel like fools who would believe in the hype of this immediate relief that he was preaching. I mean, if you look at some of the polls going on, you can see the frustration boiling over. I mean, you see this shit getting any better, Brad, at all anytime soon?
I don't know about soon. I think when this Iran thing is wrapped up, but you got to look today, man. And, look, we all in this country, and I've said it a long time, and I've said it for a while on here, and even off the channel. Americans look for instant gratification in everything that we do. We're all guilty of it. We all want it. And it just doesn't happen as quick as, of course, we would like it. I can say, I mean, if you look at oil today, it's dropped probably 10 or 12 bucks a barrel, man. It was pushing 100 last night. It's 80 something now, so might even be a little bit more than that. But I think if we can get this straight in Iran, we can get out of there, do what we got to do, get out of there. And which I'm hoping for, because look, man, campaign promises is a big thing. That's what he ran on, to take care of the American people, do what needs to be done to bring food prices down and gas prices down and make everything more affordable by cutting interest rates and all of the stuff that he campaigned about. And yeah, I do. I think we do feel some disbelief that nothing's happening. And I can tell you, as a contractor out there, it's costing me a lot in fuel cost, and my insurance costs are through the roof, and everything else in between. I go to the grocery store for myself and my family. It's out the box. It's just there's not a lot of money left over at the end of the week to survive or go have fun with, let's say. So yeah, I do think it will happen. I do. I think the stock market kind of reacted to it today in a good way. So gold and silver is coming down, which is always a good thing for the economy. Oil's coming down. They seem like they kind of follow each other. So I'm optimistic, man. I mean, look, he's a year and a half in, so plus, and I do think it's going to happen. I do.
Right. And you mentioned it that, as far as Americans go, we want instant gratification for sure. That is part of the issues with anything that takes a little bit of time, is people don't want to give that time. It's just how we are, because we're so used to having everything that we want and need at our fingertips. But also, though, people have, short memories, man. You start to forget about any good that he may have done because you're just living in the moment. And that's part of the problem in politics, because you're trying to keep up with that as a politician, but I mean, if you think about it, the high gas prices, I mean, it acts like a hidden tax, I mean, households lose hundreds of dollars yearly that could go to groceries, dining or savings or whatever, consumer spending, which is 70% of the GDP, slows. Trucking and shipping cost rise. And, it leads to, like you mentioned, higher prices everywhere on everything, and that's what people are seeing right now. So, of course, the Democrats are hoping this shit continues into the midterms, because it's not going to look good for these Republicans. And, I mean,
no, it's not. I mean, it's not going to look good for the Republicans, but look, I think he's hoping to have this wrapped up, and we do have short-term memory. We don't remember things, it seems like, within a couple of months. I mean, we can just go back to the Biden administration a year and a half ago, and what were the gas prices there? Inflation, so they say 18, 17, 15%, whatever the number was. So, yeah, we do have short-term memory when we look back at the past administration spending the money that they spend, so.
Yeah. And speaking of the comment that I just put up there, where he's saying in Georgia, Brian Kemp is trying to cut the gas tax, I was looking at some of the options that the president has in order to combat these rising prices, and that is one of them is to cut the tax on it. Tap it into the strategic petroleum reserve to add supply. It temporarily helps. But it also drains the emergency stock, which is what they don't want to do, of course. But as far as the tax goes, I mean, it's a 18.4 cents per gallon cut. So they could do that, it just boost domestic production, a fast track federal leases, some offshore drilling or pipeline approvals. But the problem with that is new output can take months, if not years. It's not immediate. So that's another issue. It goes back to what we were saying, that there's really, no fast response to this, besides, I guess, instantly taking away the tax. But, of course, ending the Iran conflict, which seems to be easier said than done right now, would probably do that. I've seen some people mentioning easing the sanctions on Venezuela and Russia for extra supply and pressure these OPEC allies, but the reality of it is no president fully controls global oil markets, It just
Exactly.
doesn't work like that. But I mean, although there are some options, I mean, it's temporary, like I said, relief at best. So I don't know what he can do besides get out of this Iran shit as fast as he can. But yeah, like as I mentioned, I mean,
I was just no. Go ahead.
go ahead. You were just what?
No, I was talking off before I got on air. I was talking to somebody, and it's just, I want to be wrapped up over there. And somebody commented that it's not a war. Yeah, no shit, it's a conflict. I understand, but people understand the word war better than conflict. So, with that being said, I do. I want him to get back here and do what he promised the American people, man. That we're going to take care of the American people and the middle class and the people that, man, look, rents are high, everything is high, and something has to be done. And as I bitch all the time with the way we spend money in this country, I just I don't see it ever going down. If people think this, they have this recollection or this hope that gasoline is going to be $1 a gallon, it's never going to happen. You will never see $1 a gallon of gas probably again, just with inflation and what we're dealing with.
Damn it.
I just don't see it
I
happening,
was waiting
dude.
on.
I just don't see it happening, dude. So it'll surprise me if it does, but but I don't see it, dude.
No, I'm with you too. I mean, I don't think it's ever going to drop back down to that, but it's got to make some sort of positive move. And but this whole economy does, the way that people aren't getting paid anymore, but everything's costing more. It's not a good mix for the average voter, and when you start looking at the midterms coming up in the near future, it's like, high gas undercuts the GOP's core, that whole quote lower cost message, especially in red leaning battlegrounds where spikes seem to be the sharpest right now. I mean, and if pretty much any poll you take will show that affordability is one of the top concerns when it comes to voters.
Absolutely.
I mean, this
and with oil, man, it really pisses you off because when all of this crap started over there, 3 or 4 weeks ago, overnight oil spiked around here 25-30 cents a gallon. I mean, even before, because those stockpiles of gas that they had were gas that's been processed, probably sitting here, sitting there, and then all of a sudden it spikes up. But you watch and see oil continue to drop. It's going to take a long time for that price to come down, if that makes sense of what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. No, I get it. I get it. I just, like I said, it's just tough when you start, the political arguments behind it when it comes to trying to win or keep seats in those midterms, because that's what's really at stake right now when it comes to, this whole, the political aspect of it, at least.
Absolutely.
I mean, for everyday people, our money's at stake. But if
Absolutely.
you're a politician right now, you've got to be, either licking your chops if you're a Democrat, or kind of looking at Trump saying, okay, come on now, because it's tough enough to win the midterms for the party that's already in power. I mean, that's all over time. It's shown that they usually lose a lot of seats, just from multiple factors. But so, like I said, it's tough enough to begin with, and then when you've got this going on, it's not any easier, So I don't know, man. You better get the shit together. But
yeah, it's not like we have it in the bag, brother, for the midterms. That's I definitely believe it's up, man. I think if you look at some prediction markets, man, it's like we might have on the Republican side maybe a 40% chance of keeping the House or the Senate, So that's not good. It's not good for us because it's a lot of people out here in Radio Land would say, that's great, make him a lame duck and it's over with. He can't do anything, But I just wish he would come home, start addressing the concerns of the American citizens, the ones that pay the taxes, the people like me and this whole panel here that pay the taxes and need relief and need help and want better for everything instead of just having to. Oh, God, I just get sick of the money spending, bro, that it goes on. It's just so nuts, dude. But anyway, because I know we're burning cash every day in this conflict,
Right. Well, I mean, the bottom line, look, man, the president's party often loses seats in the midterms, as I mentioned.
Right.
Economic frustration amplifies that, of course. So if for some reason this fuel gets $4 plus and drags the sentiment further, it could hand Democrats the House gains and Senate flips, man, pushing the GOP for a war-related pocketbook hit, so to say, that they can't easily spin away. So We'll see, man. We'll see. I'm hoping he's got some way out of this, which we'll discuss in another segment in a little bit as far as what's going on in Iran. But I do think that that's probably the only way to calm things down. But when fuel gets lower, shit in the stores has to follow suit, or it's doing no good at all.
Absolutely.
For people, so
absolutely. No, 100%. And you can bet, man, look, if the Democrats take control of House and Senate, they're going to be impeachment after inquiries and this and that. It's going to be just a shit show. They don't do anything now, but can you imagine if that happens? Nothing will get done, you know?
No, it won't. You're right, man. I don't know. But speaking of impeachments and all that shit, I'm sure you saw Trump's comment when it came to
from Mueller?
Yeah.
I mean, good. I'm glad. I'm happy for you.
I was gonna ask what you thought about that, man.
Yeah, not like he was some fucking honorable fucking guy, you know. Fuck him. He tried to make everybody's life miserable, you know, that he could.
Yeah, it seemed that way, man. They Mueller, of course, was appointed special counsel in May 2017 to investigate this whole Russian interference shit in the 2016 elections. And, it seemed to be just a big fucking, really just a joke altogether. But, Trump called it a witch hunt and a hoax, deep state attack, which it pretty much was. Accused Mueller of bias, which hell, he was friends with that, director, James Comey, the FBI director, which turned out to be a huge piece of shit. But, this 448-page Mueller report found no criminal conspiracy between the Trump campaign and Russia. And, that probe led to dozens of indictments and pleas from Trump associates. It cost $32 million for that bullshit. And it hurt a lot of innocent people. At least that's what Trump was claiming, which his family, hell, they raided his house over there at Mar-a-Lago. I mean, digging all through his wife's personal shit, for nothing. I mean, so then, he comes out and posts that on Truth, which I didn't even think it was real at first.
Right. I mean, neither when I saw it.
I didn't either. I'm like, there's no way he just said that. Robert Mueller just died. Good. I'm glad he's dead. He can no longer hurt innocent people. So he had a bone to pick with this guy. He did not like him. And I can't say that I blame him. But, of course, the big question is that taking it too far when you're the sitting president of the United States? No,
not at all. The president's got balls, dude. So with that being said, but it's okay when Charlie Kirk died and, all these politicians and all these people out there, blah, blah, blah. And Rush Limbaugh died. And I mean, the comments, it just, and look, it is what it is. It's a rough game out there in the political world. Get over it, get used to it. So, because I'm sure I can only imagine the comments if Donald Trump passes away. Can you imagine the comments that would be said on Donald? So,
No, and that's true. That's true. But a lot of people, look at it like, I guess being the president, you should be above that. But I mean, at the same time, you can say that it's not the typical kind of hypocritical politician who pretends to mourn their enemies. I mean, so I don't know how to really look at that. It was shocking. I didn't think, I guess because we're not used to president or even politicians in general celebrating that, unless it's a foreign, dictator or something that we took out that everybody's kind of happy about. But to say it about the other sides, right, which is basically what it is, even though people will say, well, he wasn't, he was no side, he was just doing his job, blah, blah, blah. Everybody knows he couldn't fucking stand Trump, and his goal was to help take Trump out. That's all there was, because they knew there was nothing to that Russian bullshit. So anyway,
Trump could have not won in that right there. If he'd have came out and put out something nice, sorry for Robert Mueller's passing. I pray for him and his family, and he was a good American. God bless him. There would be people out there saying he's fucking lying. He's lying. Blah blah blah. This is. I could just hear it, dude. Nothing that man says is ever right, dude. So it doesn't matter,
Well, I know he got shit when John McCain passed, because he gave condolences to the family, but he never directly said anything about McCain, and everybody gave him shit for that. So I'm with you. He can't win. It doesn't matter what he said.
No.
I
And John
mean,
McCain was a traitor anyway, dude.
well,
so
right, but he
he's-
didn't even say
yeah.
that. You know, he came out
No.
and said condolences to McCain's family, blah blah blah. But he didn't actually say, "I'm sorry, John McCain died." So therefore, that was
Right.
looked at as a bad thing. You know, and then he comes out and says, "Okay, well, hold my fucking beer. You know, check this one out." And it's like, oh Jesus! Like I said, I didn't even fucking believe it. It was so off the wall. I've never
I
seen
know.
a president say anything even remotely close to that about a political opponent, and I'm gonna call him a political opponent because that's what Mueller was, you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was odd to see, and the knee jerk reaction from a lot of people was, you know, oh my God, you know, is this what y'all voted for? You know, look at this piece of shit. And then once the dust settled, people were like, well, I mean, he did try to ruin his fucking life over nothing. I mean, are you supposed to sit there and you know, tell this guy to rest in peace when he didn't give two fucks what happened to you or your family?
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Right. Absolutely.
You know, Justin, you got any
Karma's a
sympathy
bitch,
for,
dude. Man.
Robert Mueller there?
No, I don't know who Robert Mueller is, but no, not at all.
Well, I told you that was the one that was, you know, he was going after Trump with that Russian collusion shit that turned out to be a total just bullshit hoax.
Was
And
he
they
a
knew it.
prosecutor?
He was a special counsel. Yeah, he was appointed special counsel, which you know, he was there to investigate that Russian interference in the 2016 elections, and he was pretty much running the show when it came to all of that. And he knew it was all a crock of shit. And then, of course, when he passes, Trump says what he says, and you know, I guess it's not so much of was Trump supposed to be sad, but it's like, is it something the president should not be putting out on social media?
I get it. Should he have kept his mouth
that?
shut? Should he have just kept his mouth shut? Yeah. I get
But
it.
then it's like, this is the type of shit.
That's not him. Yeah.
No, and this is the type of shit that excited everybody about Trump because he wasn't the typical polished politician who wouldn't say things like this.
Right.
So I guess that's, you know, you gotta give a little. You know, you want to take whatever Trump has, you got to give a little too. I mean, you got to give him a little space to be himself, or he wouldn't be Trump. He would have never even come close to winning had he not had this kind of attitude. And look, everything they try to do to this man, including take his life, I couldn't have sympathy for any of them either when they pass away. You know?
Exactly.
I
Dude.
mean, now would I come out and say it as the president? Like, you couldn't picture
Probably not.
Obama saying something like this.
No.
You know,
or Bill Clinton or George
right.
Bush
Not
or-
that I'm an Obama fan, but he would never put out a statement like that. But then again, he is the typical run every sentence by your team politician, and that ain't Trump.
Yes.
Can you imagine the girl that had to type that out when Trump's sitting next to her? How many times you think she asked him, "Are you serious? Are you sure you want to?"
You want to
Are
hit
you
send on this,
sure?
right? Yeah. Send?
How about-
I got you.
She's like, I think, you know, rest in peace sounds a little better. Yeah, now fuck that. Type it, you know.
Look, can
Send
I
it.
give you 3 more minutes, let you drink your Diet Coke and eat your hamburger, and we'll discuss this, dude? No. Send it.
Yeah, it's crazy. So, you know, like I said,
It
I
is
don't
what it
think,
is, dude.
It is what it
Yeah.
is. Like, yeah, that's what you get. You know, with Trump, you got to take the good with the bad, I guess, if you voted for him. I mean, I think what's more important is him getting this economy back right. You know, instead of worrying about
It is the most important thing for the American people.
Yeah.
Yes, right and left, dude. That's what it's all about. And I
Yeah,
want us all
because
to be prosperous in this country, man. I really do. You know.
Yeah, because this Robert Mueller shit will blow over, but this economy, the way that some people are struggling financially, that ain't going to blow over. People aren't going to forget that. Not that the Democrats are going to come in and fix anything if they happen to take some seats and all, and you know, in this midterms. You know, that I don't want anybody to be fooled thinking, well, I better vote the other way, because that's not going to help either. But it's not going to look good. It's not looking good right now. I mean, so I don't know, man. I don't know.
It'll be okay, buddy.
You think?
Absolutely, dude. I do. I think it's all going to work out, dude. I think I even said this last year. I said I think 26 is going to be a rough year. You're coming off. You got to try to correct what's all been broken for years. And I like I said, there's still a point where it's never corrected in this country without some type of reset coming. You know, the debt, you know, the dollar, all this bullshit that we talk about all the time. But yeah, something's got to be done. And I hope I'm optimistic, man. You know, I hope he does it. Can he do it? I don't know. You can't do really a whole lot without Congress. I mean, you can sign executive orders till the cows come home, but the next sitting president can just undo all of that BS, you know? So,
yeah, no, that's true. Biden left with the best economy in the world, Ryan says. I don't know about all that, but well, we'll let him speak his mind there. Thank you, President Trump, for closing the border, fighting tyranny, loving our military, and loving America. He does do all of that, but at the same time, you know, he makes groceries high. So, I don't know, whatever matters to you more. Look, I still support him. I mean, I don't want anything bad, of course. I mean, he is running our country, so I hope he does great. But I just know, talking to people, that I've heard people tell me that if they had an option now, they would not vote for, like, they didn't expect this. You know?
They'd have voted for Kamala? Oh, okay.
And that's what I was thinking when they say that. I'm like, come on, man. Like, you can't go that far. Like, I know you're not happy with what's going on right now, but, I mean, do you really think we'd be any better off if that administration would have got in? Now, would we be in Iran? No. I don't think we'd.
No, they'd be over here probably, dude. So that word salad drunk, dude. Can you imagine how being president of the United States? Really, dude?
That's such a good point. They'd be over here fucking with us.
Yeah, absolutely. Jesus. China would have Taiwan already, you know?
Yeah.
So,
no, that's a good point. It's a good point. I guess we're better off. But, you know, speaking of Iran, I don't know, man. I know they talk about Trump. He announced it postponed, on planned U.S. strikes for like 5 days or some shit after what he called a good and productive conversation with the Iranian representatives. Now, he claims Iran has agreed to no nuclear weapons and that oil prices will drop like a rock, according to him, once all this is resolved. He's also floating the possible, I think April 9th is like a target date to wind down these operations. Now, the problem is, when you listen to the Iranian side, they're saying that no direct talks occurred and that they reject any deal without the U.S., for one, paying reparations. And
they want reparations now?
Yeah, they want them too. Wow. And admitting aggression. So Iranian officials vow massive retaliation if power plants are hit and say they will keep targeting regional energy sites. So I don't know where the mix-up is coming, because Trump's acting like they're having great conversations and this shit's about to be over with. And then you got Iran sitting there like, nah, we ain't talking about none of that, and we want basically an apology, and you got to pay us money. Now, do you think that's coming out of Trump's mouth, for one, to admit that he did any wrong? And do you think he's sending him a fucking dime? This ain't Obama. Didn't Obama like send him fucking $1 billion in cash or some shit overnight?
Like $6 billion,
or whatever the fuck
like
it was.
Yeah.
They're talking to the wrong fucking leader right now. So I don't know how that's gonna play any type of positive role, at least when it comes to Iran. I don't know what they think they're gonna get out of that, and I don't know. Like I said, you're getting two sides of this, and I'm not sure who's telling the truth right here. I mean, it's supposed to be from Trump's standpoint, not one of these forever wars, but the warning signs are there. I mean, the U.S. has degraded Iran's conventional military faster than many expected, yet the regime is still functioning and using cheap, asymmetric tools like these drones and mines and proxies. Mm-hmm. I mean, the initial shock and awe in Iraq 2003 looked easy too. So, I mean, do you think we're risking another situation where victory looks like, endless policing? Or do you think we're going to get the fuck out of there soon?
I don't know. It's a good question. I think it depends on the regime. If the gay Ayatollah takes over, then maybe I don't think he's compassionate at all, So
I forgot they said they're calling him gay.
So I really think it depends on the regime. I mean, if you put a resemblance of the old regime you have in there, and I mean, Jesus God, man, for that they just hung 3 young kids for talking out against their country. How sad is that? 19, 20, and maybe 21-year-old, 18-year-old, something like that. So if you get the same regime, and you're not going to have any change in that country. And if that's what you're looking to do, that's not the answer. But like I said before, I do not believe we are the answer, bro, to do like we did in the Gulf War. I do not believe that. I do not want that. I do do not hope for that, because to get bogged
No,
down in something for 10 years and trillions, it's going to be a sad situation, you know?
yeah, and that was something like, Trump ran on a lot, was just not being stuck in these, forever wars, man. And it better not play out to be that. But I know they were sending troops over there. I was reading something that they were sending a shitload of people over there for whatever reason. But it's got to get out of this, man. But the way Iran is talking, they have no intentions on quitting until they get what they want out of this. Now, of course, they're not going to just cower down because they have to look strong in front of their people. So I don't know how stuck on that they are. But like I said, they're claiming they want, basically an apology and some money. And then we can all just move on. And I don't see that happening, man.
No, me neither.
I don't see it happening.
And look, to answer Ryan at 902, the enemy is the elites that are robbing you, not trans. I get it, dude. But I got a question with that. I mean, you think just the Republicans are elites in this country? There's no Democrat elites in this country that take your money and robbing you of all your money? And give me one explanation what the Democrat Party has done for you during the Obama days and with the 4 years of Biden. I would like to see how good we truly had it under that regime, But anyway.
Yeah, well, I'm with you. I don't know. Like when you say elites, you have to include both sides. So to say that, but yet still argue for a side is kind of foolish because they're all in the same group. I mean, at least call that out. But Ryan, like he's been in the comments enough and seen the show enough where I can tell where he loves the Democrats.
Yes.
But at the same time, calls out the elites, and it doesn't make any sense because they're part of it. I mean, once we can all admit that neither one of these sides really give a fuck about any of us, then maybe we can all start to move on and not be so argumentative with each other over politics because we're fighting for people who don't give a fuck really about how our day's going. They don't care.
Right.
They
they
don't
could give two shits, man. They
right.
Don't give
I mean, I've never
as long as that tax dollar leaves your check and heads to the federal government, they don't care what else happens to you, brother.
That's true. That's true.
Yep.
And that's another one by Ryan. He lied. You ate it up like candy, and you were warned. But to say that is almost like you're saying the other side doesn't lie. That if you would have just voted for Kamala Harris, I mean, come on, man. That's why I don't. It's hard to take anybody who's too far gone to believe their side does any wrong. It's hard to take them serious at all. I mean, like I said, we just need to all just admit that both sides are full of shit. They're going to pander to whatever group they think is going to get them voted in, and that's just what they're going to do. It never ends. It's been going on.
And this is what they want, Shane. This is the whole playbook, brother, between the Republicans and the Democrats. I mean, that's what really makes two-party really just bullshit because they want that. They want us pinned against each other. They want us divided. They want us split. They want us, pinned against each other. And then they can go do what they got to do to self-enrich themselves on all of these deals. If it's big pharma, big ag, big this, big defense, but and it's just, and here we are, we're arguing about who was the better party. Is the Democrat or Republicans better or not? You know what I'm saying? And here they are, they're transferring billions and trillions, and it's just, it is what it is. It's really sad, but they want that, dude. This is what they want. So no party, Republican or Democrat, is really worth their salt. I mean, we have so many rhinos in our party that just really, I wish they would just pack their shit and go home,
Yeah, well, you said it too. It's like people arguing over, which piece of shit smells better. It's
exactly, dude.
They're both
so
the same,
true,
man. I mean, not to say that you don't vote for a certain side because I guess you hope what they're saying is going to be true.
Yes.
So you just you take a leap of faith, so to say, with these politics. But to sit there and just act like it's etched in stone because they're saying it is foolish.
Yes.
I never went into supporting Trump, believing that everything he said he was going to do. I was hoping he was going to be able to do a good portion of it because it all sounded great for the country and for the working, tax-paying person. Right. So what else are you to do if you want to get involved in this in any way and vote? Well, you can't vote for the side that wants to raise taxes on everybody and give it to people that don't want to fucking work, or that are pushing, all of this sexual nonsense onto children, and just basically going against any type of value that you believe in. Why the fuck would you vote for them?
Exactly right. And look,
sense.
the way I look at it, Trump, I'm not really a MAGA guy. It's not like I bleed Trump. You know what I'm saying? Look, he has his faults. He's done a lot of stupid stuff and said a lot of stupid stuff. But when I look at it, on my end, I am a capitalist. I'm an entrepreneur capitalist conservative. I can't even say I'm a Republican. I think I'm a little bit further than that. And when it comes to, I want to be free. I want to pay as few taxes as I have to. I'm not a Democrat that believes in this womb to the tomb bullshit, cradle to the grave, whatever you want to say with that. And it's tax, tax, tax. I find with Democrats, and I'm hoping that the Republican side, minus these rhinos, would do something for that, for the hardworking taxpaying people of all of us, not just the Republicans, all of us. I want it to get better for,
Yeah. Well, that's a good, question here. What does America first mean to you guys? Well, I mean, it means take care of us, take care of the citizens, worry about us before you worry about foreign matters, like this country seems to do a lot of times. I mean, it means exactly what it says, man. You take care of your home first, and then if you have extra resources and you want to reach out and help others, that's fine. I mean, that's what it means to me. What it means to Donald Trump, I don't know. You'd have to ask him.
I can't put words in his mouth.
No, but I think he'll be on the show next week, so we'll see.
Yeah.
No,
but when I look at that question right there, what America means to me, it's the greatest country in the world. Even as screwed up as it is right now, it's still, I wouldn't want to live anywhere else. Let's put it like that. It is the greatest country in the world. What it means to me is the Constitution, the assimilation. We are a melting pot. Most people might not think so, but we are a melting pot. And when you sit back and you look at the freedoms that we have nowhere else in the world, is the greatest thing on earth. It is and there's nowhere else to run, folks. We can't go anywhere else to get away from socialism, oppression, dictatorship, or whatever it might be called. So this is the best place, and that's what it means to me.
Yeah,
I can't answer for Donald Trump.
Yeah, can't go to Canada. It's run by a fucking idiot.
Yeah,
They've got a weird system over there anyway of voting. From what I understand, like at any point, they can all get together and say, you're not doing your fucking job as the leader, and now we're going to vote to replace you or some shit like that. It's a weird system. I don't know. I mean, I think it's kind of cool, but it doesn't seem like it works too well over there because this idiot running Canada, I mean, why would they not want that dumbass out of there? But it does seem interesting that if Congress could all get together over here and that sitting president and say, look, we don't like what the fuck you're doing, so we're about to have a vote, and your ass may be gone or whatever. I mean, I don't know exactly how it works, but I know it's something like that over there. So I thought that was interesting. But anyway, going back to the Iran shit and ending this stuff, the problem you got too is Israel. The ambassador over there is saying the war continues until we bring this regime to its knees. So with as much as this administration seems to kiss the ass of Israel for whatever reason, does that keep us going longer than need be? Like, how do we stop with Israel saying something like that until this regime falls? So is there any negotiating at all when it comes to Trump and Iran? Because according to Israel, we don't want no fucking negotiating. We want this regime gone. And you know as well as I do, Brad, that what Israel says goes.
It seems that way, huh, dude?
So I'm just wondering if that prolongs this shit longer than it needs to go.
Well, man, when at nighttime I go in some of these deep rabbit holes and I go down these trenches and stuff, and you hear stuff of that, how infiltrated we are with them in this country. And, and I did see some videos where if it was Tulsi Gabbard and a few other his cabinet members were telling him it's not a good idea to go into Iran. But how long does it go? I don't know. I hope it goes on for, like he said, 5 or 6 weeks and it's over with. And then we can get our boys home and get all our equipment back and focus on the economy. That is the main thing, I'm telling you.
And this is Israel says go. Since when does Israel control the USA? That's a lot of people believe that's the only reason we're over there right now in Iran. I mean, read up a little bit on the history. I mean, it is super pro-Israel with this administration, especially. I mean, he ran on that. I'm going to be the most pro-Israel president ever. Well, why? Why not the most pro-American? And I'm not saying whether it's good or bad to support Israel, because people have their own beliefs on that and reasons why. Sure. A lot of it could be biblical. A lot of it is strategic. But for whatever reason, though, it is very, very almost Israel first in this country right now. So that's kind of what I meant by that when I said that, as far as them not wanting to end this war until the regime is destroyed, but yet Trump saying he's trying to negotiate and he's having great talks with Iran. Well, just because the talks go good, if Israel says, nah, fuck that, we're not trying to have no peace talks, we want them gone, does he listen to Israel? You know, I mean, he seems to. I guess it depends on what you believe.
It's a good question.
He's really only there for them. So, I don't know, but I do know we got to get out. So let's say you're advising Trump right now, Brad. And you got this 5-day pause that's going on, okay? So would you be pushing for that to be this permanent, like an off-ramp to end this conflict, or would you keep the military pressure until this regime falls? Like, do you believe that taking out this regime is the most important thing? Are you on that level, or do you?
Yes, I think taking out this regime, they have caused chaos around the world, killed thousands of Americans, death to America, death to Israel, since they took over this regime, started in 1979. So just to leave and let that regime come back in power, it's worthless. It's worthless. They're going to start killing their own people, as they already do. And I think we'll be back. Not to say they won't have nukes or anything, but just their presence there. You know, when you have a fifth or 20% of the world's oil goes through the Straits of Hormuz, and they can stop it, control it, do what they want, raise the prices, lower the price. You know, I don't know. I don't think this regime that was there can stay in power of any sort. But once again, like I said earlier, who? I mean, I haven't heard anybody new regime that wants to come in and run Iran. I don't know.
Yeah, it's almost like
maybe we ought to just run it, dude. How about that?
I'll take it. We'll do it. Yeah, we'll broadcast live from there. No, we'll
just run it from here.
Let's do it right here. Yeah, it looks like if the U.S. walks away with a deal and leaves, the Islamic Republic intact, but they get rid of the nukes at the same time. Yes. Is that a win, or did Iran just survive another round, so to say? And to me, that's almost what it seems like, if you don't just take them out. If that's what your goal was, at least, to stop them from doing whatever you claim they were doing, well, why would you make a deal with the devil, so to say? I mean, do you believe anything? They may not get right back to it, but would Trump really think this shit is over just because they say, all right, we'll stop. Y'all get out of here. We'll quit. So it's almost like you have no choice now if you're Donald Trump, and you're really going over there and starting this conflict because you believe they're over there trying to do shit they don't need to be doing with nukes and all. Well, why would you just leave them alone after that? I mean, I don't think you can. I don't know. It's a tough situation you done got into, because you done started this shit. Now you got to finish it. If you really believe the reasons why you're telling us you went over there, which was supposedly his intel that he had on what Iran was over there doing and what they were up to. So if that's true, getting out of there and making some kind of deal, to me, it's not like they're going to stick with that deal.
Isn't that almost like deja vu, dude, with the weapons of mass destruction?
Yeah.
If you think about it like that, and then we got caught up for 10 plus years, spent trillions over there, and lost countless American soldiers for what? What was the end game, you think about it.
There wasn't one.
But
I don't know. Justin, what else is going on in the world besides all this grown-up talk?
Oh,
I got one for you. Look at this headline. I'll read it to you. Quadruple amputee professional cornhole player faces murder charges. Now, for one, just the headline alone, how are you a quadruple amputee but you're playing cornhole? That's weird. And then I want to read I didn't read the article. I purposely stayed away from the article until we were live, so I want to see what went on here. Professional cornhole player and quadruple amputee has been formally charged with murder and multiple related offenses in connection with a deadly shooting that occurred in Charles County. Now,
what did they amputate off of him?
Quadruple. They had to cut it all off. So let's see. The witness identified in the charging documents told police that Weber, which is the person's name, that the amputee, pulled out a firearm and shot Wells twice in the head during the argument.
Damn.
How do you do that? Like Justin said, what 4 things did they cut off of this guy? They said Weber underwent quadruple amputation as a baby after a blood infection, and somehow he's a professional cornhole player. I don't understand. I'm kind of lost on that whole.
He's got to have prosthetics or something, dude. How do you do that? I don't understand it, dude.
That's what they're saying, that it's early in the investigation, but there's no evidence to suggest anyone else was involved in the shooting and that he acted alone. They still don't know how he was able to drive the car and fire a weapon. So I'm curious. I want to know how he pulled that off. Damn.
Absolutely.
I mean, like you said, unless he's got some sort of
prosthetic.
He had to have. That's
Got
the weirdest headline I ever read. For
Matt
one,
says
just
maybe
playing.
cornhole isn't what we think.
Could be.
It sounds like somebody threw a bunch of words together on a fucking article. Like, that's just weird. Anyway.
Jesus.
I don't know. That was, like I said, the headline alone, quadruple amputee playing cornhole.
I did see that this afternoon.
It's pretty impressive, man. And I did see that researchers in New Jersey are warning that the R word is experiencing a significant and concerning resurgence. Justin, mainly due to you.
Yes.
You won't stop saying it. I told you about that.
Well,
what else they got going on? TSA, they're going crazy over there in the fucking airports, apparently.
yes, they
Talking
are.
about
I heard the
sending in
lines
ice
are
agents.
outrageous.
Yeah, man,
Yeah.
hours waiting. He's talking about sending in ICE agents, which I think they started today or yesterday or something.
They did this morning.
And of course, I see people bitching about that, like it's going to turn into some kind of deadly incident because these guys aren't trained to, watch baggage or whatever. I don't know what the fuck they were.
Airport security.
Yeah, and I'm like, I think they were just there to kind of help with the lines, and because it's out of control, man. It's nuts right now. I mean, the TSA people, dude, they a lot of them are just not showing up for work because they're not getting paid or they're quitting, which I can't blame them.
Yeah.
I mean,
Isn't that a damn shame? You got to catch a flight and they'll tell you, we'll get here 3 hours early, and people are getting there 5 and 6 hours early and still missing their flight.
Damn.
Because the line's that long.
Crazy.
It's insane. It's insane. And just all because we don't want to fund ICE, Well, you know what? You don't want to fund ICE. At least fund the 260,000 TSA agents and get their asses back to work. And we're talking about regular jobs that people now are like quitting to go get a job because they can't afford their rent and their food and their school or whatever for their kids. And I don't blame them for doing that. But in the same bet, we got congressmen up there, senators up there. We're not open. We're not passing anything, nothing to do with DHS or anything like that. And, I find it ironic in sitting here talking about this. Senator Kennedy from Louisiana wanted to make a resolution that, guess what? If the government's closed for any reason, no senator gets paid. Don't lose your money. You just don't get a paycheck. Just like the average Americans in this country don't get a paycheck. Dude, they wouldn't even hear it. It was they wouldn't even deal with it.
Yeah. No, you're right. And look,
Yep.
Ryan wants to know, how much did tariffs end up costing your business?
Dude, between fuel, tariffs, insurance cost, a lot. Yeah, our numbers are not where they need to be,
Yeah. Well,
But do I blame that all on Trump? Do I blame it all on Trump? No, because my business took a hit when Biden was around. So I'm not going to put it on one man for sure,
Well, I heard just like Matt was saying that Elon was talking about paying for the TSA agents that have been working.
He
So
did.
that'd be pretty
He
cool if
offered that,
comes
so-
through. Yeah, but I mean, I
Yeah.
can't blame the ones that are calling in sick constantly or just quitting. I mean,
Yeah.
most people can't survive without fucking paychecks coming in. It's just not feasible. It's
Yeah, I was listening today, dude. One guy was talking. He said, "Dude, I got a paycheck. I did, dude. I can't lie. I did get a pay. It was for $1.
God damn.
For $1. Yeah, they just so people are quitting, not showing up, and it's crazy. Everyone's hurting, man. Yeah.
Yeah, well, they said over 400 of them have quit. So, I mean, I can't blame them. I'm just glad I ain't got to fly nowhere. That just sounds like a fucking mess, man.
Right. Yeah.
But,
I mean, a nightmare when TSA is working.
Yeah.
I can't imagine it right now.
That's so true, even when they are working, huh? So what, I guess it's just lack of what? People checking in people or people checking luggage? I mean, I guess all the above.
Yes. Yes.
And that's what
I think the
I
whole
guess
scanning and checking
Right.
in luggage and scanning
So-
and all that to get you to the concourse,
So I don't see the problem then with sending in ICE agents if that's what they're going to help out with, besides the fact that Democrats are going to bitch no matter what Trump does. But if that's because according to him, that's all they were there for, really. It's just to help out. They're not there to police anything. They're just there to help in these positions that the TSA can't keep up with. So, I mean, I don't see what's wrong with that. Now, I guess a lot of people would say, well, they should be funded where people don't have to quit, and then ICE wouldn't have to go in there. But being
that
the
would be the
situation,
easiest thing to do.
right? But being the situation is what it is, and he's like, well, look, we're going to send some help over there. Well, people start freaking out because all of a sudden in their minds, ICE is just going to shoot disgruntled passengers. Like if they're in the airport arguing, like you see all these videos, people are just pissed off because flights are delayed or whatever. And they paint this picture now like ICE is just going to pull out guns and start gunning people down because of the couple of incidents that happened with ICE,
Right.
So it's just gives people something else to bitch about, I guess. But I mean, what else do you do right now? I mean, you can't have 3, 4, 5, 6 hour fucking delays in these airports. I mean, it's crazy, but I think
It was.
I think it's like 14 of the major airports they done rolled up in. I guess it's better than no help at all. So
Yeah. They were in New Orleans, I heard.
yeah, all the major ones, man, they had to. I was just looking at some of the
You
lines.
got to
and I
do
was
something
like,
for the American
God.
people, man. I mean, come on, dude.
Yeah. So CSR, what's up? Where's CSR?
Yeah, where you at, brother?
Trump said they will not have masks in airports. There you go. See, that's a win for y'all. Y'all didn't like the mask, and now he won't have them. The ICE agents won't be wearing them.
That's a good one.
No need for them.
Yeah.
Anyway, it wasn't. But it wasn't too long ago. What if you didn't wear a mask, you couldn't enter any building, and they were all
Couldn't do
for
shit,
that. So.
Yeah. Or if you had the jab, if you didn't have the jab, couldn't go into places.
Yeah. Brad, you got a fan, B-Rad. Ryan, B-Rad, those tariffs would not have happened had Kamala won. I admit I didn't like everything about Kamala. He's saying your business would be booming and we'd all be better off financially if we'd have just voted for Harris. I have to remember that if she runs again.
Yeah.
I have to remember that.
Yeah.
But anyway. Justin, you got anything nuts going on?
Did you see the alleged Roblox programmer that got arrested? Jamie Bourne from New Orleans was arrested for possession of child pornography and a child sex doll.
Of course he was. Yeah. I mean, that's
didn't
probably
hear
why
that
he
one.
went into developing that, was he knew he could, easier access to children. It don't surprise me at all. Anytime anybody involved with anything that's the majority is children is the audience or the whatever, the crowd that you're attracting, that shit don't surprise me at all. I saw that headline and I was like, well, yeah, I mean, there's probably more of them involved in that too. They just hadn't caught them yet.
Absolutely.
It's a shame
It's
that kind of shit goes on so much that it doesn't even shock me anymore. I just I expect it now. Anybody that's involved in anything to do with children, men, it's like, yeah, no shock there. It's a shame that it's come to that, but that's just how I feel about it. That's why, like I said, I saw that headline and I'm like, oh, Well, that's one. What about the other 1,000 that are involved in this Roblox shit or whatever? I mean, they're probably, because I know it's been an issue with just people, private messaging children on Roblox and
Yeah.
talking to, and I wouldn't be surprised if half of them people work for whatever it is, company or just whatever the hell you call Roblox. I think it gives these predators an easy way to
Easy
get
target,
to these
bro.
kids. Yes, it's
Yes.
it's easy access, man. I mean, there's no secret there. I mean, if you're sexually attracted to something, you're going to do what you got to do to be closer to it, and that's these sick motherfuckers find ways to do it. So,
I agree with you, CSR. You better watch your friends and family. 1 in 4 women have been hurt. I totally 100% agree with you.
Have been hurt by what? I didn't read it. What did he say?
Oh,
1 in 4 women have been. Oh, it ended there. I thought you quitting. I thought you quit mid.
No, I'm just saying probably sexual assault. I'm sure,
Yeah. No.
Yes,
right.
exactly.
Yeah. That's y'all's neck of the woods, Matt.
Charles, he did. It's so true, man. When I was younger and I had children, I never even thought of it like that. With the whole essay, the whole sexual assault, and worrying about my kids. It was different times, but I mean, my kids are grown now; they're in their 30s, But it's like, damn, now that I have grandkids, dude, paranoid, dude. I really am paranoid now with what they're doing, and I mean, the whole tech industry is a lot different when I grew up, and my son than it is today, and I see what my grandkids get involved with on TV or the VR glasses. Dude, I freak out. I just, I don't know. I worry about all that shit,
Yeah, and I think
I'm not a fan of sleepovers. Yeah, I'm not a fan of them going to sleep out, and it just, dude, I don't trust anybody, dude. I just don't. I really don't trust anybody.
Well, I think the pedos were always there. I think for one, we hear about it more, and they have easier access nowadays. But it's not like
100%.
It's right. It's not like men just all of a sudden like it's in the water that they become attracted to children. These sick fucks. I think it's just easier for them now to find their targets, and we hear about it way more often because of just social media, which is good. Because it does open a lot of people's eyes who would have been a little too trustworthy, which, like you said, you don't even want them going anywhere nowadays. That's how I feel. Like I'm always weary, like, who's around my kids or where are they going? Who's going to be there? Oh, they're going to be with their friend's dad only today? No, I don't think so. I mean,
I don't think so.
And a lot of it may be where you're being too cautious, but to me, it's not worth risking something like that happening, and you can't take
the mental trauma. Yeah, the mental trauma that the kid would have to suffer with forever. No, it's not worth it. Not worth it.
You can't take that back. So without saying it out loud, I'm going to look at it like you're a pedo until you prove otherwise when you're around my kids. I mean, I would never just say that to somebody because I'm not going to run around just accusing people of that out loud, but that's how I approach it. And it keeps your kids safe. And like I said, it may be overboard sometimes and overthinking it, but like I said, you cannot take that mistake back of not paying attention to what who's around your kids. Once it's done, it's done.
Yeah.
So it's just be cautious. And like I said, I think it's a good thing with the whole internet and everything and social media that it puts it in the forefront that this shit happens every day, all day. It's all the time.
Yes.
And it's predominantly, I mean, we've talked about it before, but it's like white men for some fucking reason. I don't know what the fuck. That's such a weird, they own that. They own that category, man. I don't know.
They do own it, dude.
Yeah, so watch your children around white men, is all I can say.
CSR, you're 100% correct on all your posts, man. All your comments, dude. Absolutely, dude.
What's he talking about? Can't be too cautious. My kids don't go to the bathroom. That's true.
Absolutely, man. Yep.
That's true, man. Like I said, I remember coming up, we were the latchkey kids, man. We come home, no parents there. We're at the street, still dark, and didn't think much of it, man. And I'm sure them creeps were out there on the prowl back then. It just
absolutely
didn't hear enough about it, so nobody was really that much in fear of it, But anyway, Justin, what's on your mind? You look like you're stewing over there.
I got a video we can look at.
Let's look at it, bro.
Yeah, what you been waiting for, dude?
Zeldin and Molinaro, just jump on a bus and head down to Florida where you belong, okay? Get out of town. Get out of town. Because you don't represent our values. You are not New Yorkers. And being conscious of the facts that I need people who are high net worth to support the generous social programs that we want to have in our state. Right? Now, there are some patriotic millionaires who've stepped up. Okay, cut me the checks. I mean, just if you want to be supportive, but maybe the first step should be go down to Palm Beach and see who you can bring back home, because our tax base has been eroded. So I philosophically don't have a problem. It is like I have to look at the fact that we are in competition with other states who have less of a tax burden on their corporations and their individuals. And I would say remote work changed everything. There were people who could only work in an office in Manhattan or work in New York State, and they were captives to our state. They were going to stay. We've saw that that's not the case. I mean, you know, Wall Street businesses looking at Texas, they're not going there because they have a nicer governor. I know that for sure. But they're going there because of the tax rate. We have to be smart about this. But we can fund what we want to fund of Trump.
I mean, you think they're too stupid to really know that they're going to run everybody out of their states that are worth a fuck, you know, and that eventually they're going to suffer those consequences.
Yeah.
I guess they do.
Sometimes I do. Sometimes I do, man. I believe it, dude. You know,
it's just it's crazy to watch them run those people off and then sit there a few years later. But the average person, they done forgot this woman said that years ago.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Short-term memory loss,
right? I mean, somebody put that together in a little video montage there or whatever, and it's like, oh yeah, damn. But the average person would have never known that woman said that. We wouldn't have remembered that shit. We'd have moved on. Mm-hmm. But it is odd that it makes me wonder if they drive these millionaires or billionaires out of their states that are actually paying taxes and keeping some of these places rolling, if they just don't think about the consequences or they don't care for some. I don't know. It's hard to be in the mind of a politician because you never know what their end goal is, because you're judging it from a moral mind, you know, and you're not looking at it like them fucking thieves and them crooks are. So it's hard to make sense of what they do and when to know when it's purposely done or if they just fucked up. I mean, I don't know. It's hard just to get into the mind of a politician, man. Would be amazing.
Exactly. It's a whole nother talk. And Ryan, I like the comments that you're making, brother. I could talk to you and debate you and have good conversation with you about everything from when the housing market crashes to the stock market crashes and 60 trillion in debt. Yeah, absolutely. I've preached that. I don't know how long you've been listening to me here. To us here, but I've been preaching that probably since day one of this channel and even before that. So what's coming is not good, I promise you. And when you talk about the housing, I don't really give a shit about that because I owe nothing on my house and I'm not ever leaving my house. So I don't care where it goes. I don't want it to go down, but I mean, if it does, so be it. But for a lot of Americans that are paying notes and mortgages, 30, 40, 50% reduction in your cost, that's going to leave a lot of people upside down, bud. And when that happens, there's going to be a lot of foreclosures, you know, just like back in 2008, you know, that's going to be the same thing. I do believe it's going to be 10 times worse than what we saw in 2008. So, and the whole 60 trillion in debt. Yeah, absolutely, dude. And that's just the beginning of it. We're 200 trillion in unfunded liabilities in this country. So it's never going to be paid back. It's got to be reset. They got to default, and it's going to be hard. And who's going to suffer? Honestly, Shane and Justin, you know who's going to suffer on this? Us. We're the ones, not these politicians and not these rich elitists. And it's going to be the common everyday man that is going to suffer when this does crash. And when it happens, you better hold on, brother. That's all I can tell you.
Yeah,
well, so if the housing market crashes, right, and say my house value drops by 50%, if I happen to have an electrical fire before my insurance policy renews, they would have to pay me for what I'm insured for right now, right?
If that's the way the insurance policy is written. Yeah. Do you have replacement cost or?
Oh yeah.
Is it insured for a certain dollar amount? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
surely is.
So what are you saying?
I'm just saying that, there's been some flickery lights here and there. So
You got aluminum wire, I bet, in your house, huh, dude?
Yeah.
Yeah,
know?
it's full of aluminum wire. Yeah, I get it, dude.
Remind
Shit
me
happens.
to delete this episode or something.
So, yeah,
Oh
exactly.
man. Anyway, look, I want to take a minute. Coming up Wednesday, let everybody know that we'll be joined by Rob Rosen. Now, he's an Emmy-winning TV producer and director with over 30 years in the industry. He's coming out with a book early June titled Crimes of Omission, Distorted Justice, The Media's War on Truth. So he's had a behind-the-scenes look at how the media, omits facts when it comes to covering major news stories in order to push what narratives they've decided to run with. So that should be interesting, I can't wait to talk to him because,
I think
he's
it's going to
big.
be good.
Yeah, a lot of it, the just whether it be the George Floyd or Trayvon Martin or any of them the major polarizing stories. I mean, we all know the media is full of shit, but he's actually worked in front of the camera, behind the camera. He's seen it for years, and he decided to basically just give a little tell-all. And, they reached out to us and said he'd like to come on the show and just kind of, I guess, advertise the book or whatever. So it's like, let's do it. So that'll be Wednesday. He's supposed to be joining us about 8:30 or so when we get kicked off. So that should be interesting. But anyway,
Exactly.
I'm ready for that myself. I want to talk to him because I would love a whole episode of just shitting on the fucking mainstream media. It would just make my day. So I would love it. Who's full of bull? Who put that in the comments already? He's full of bull. That media is so fucking. I can't wait for that one, honestly.
Yeah, tune in next Wednesday, right, dude? Isn't that what you said?
Yeah, Wednesday.
Yeah.
Tune in and listen
be
to him. You
interesting.
think he's full of bull because we're gonna let him. Of course, we'll put the comments on the screen and let him kind of answer those or comment on them. But like I said, it should be interesting with just his resume, which. I mean, if I read it, it would take all night when you look up the guy's, what he's done and
It's
what
deep.
shows he's produced. He's got shit playing on HBO Max now, streaming and all. Like he's a pretty big name behind the scenes with all that shit. So be interesting. I can't wait just to hear what he's got to say about the media.
I don't know his party affiliation, do you?
No, but he's don't like the fucking
CSR is
media.
asking. Yeah, CSR is saying he must be right-leaning, but I don't know. I don't know what
I don't know. Because see,
Yeah.
here's the deal. I don't reach out to these people. I don't know. I get emails from PR firms that say, hey, I think we have a guest that, you may want to talk to or whatever. I don't know. It's not like I'm out there searching for right-wing people to say, hey, you want to come on the show? That's not how it works, because I don't give a fuck if anybody comes on, really. Us three is enough. But if they
So
email
true.
us and they seem interesting, I'm like, yeah, let's do it. And that's what happened with this one. When I saw him basically talking about what goes on behind the scenes with the media and them leaving out certain facts to keep a narrative going. If you think that don't happen, you're out of your mind. And I don't think that's just a right or left thing. I think it's on both sides of the spectrum, depending on what media outlet you're listening to. The media is going to do what they do, and that is to drive a narrative, whichever one they're getting behind, to push. I mean, that's all there is to it. That's what they do. So I just thought it'd be interesting to talk to him. But yeah, I mean, with that guy we had on here before with the crowds on demand, there's no way you would convince me he was a conservative, right-leaning conservative.
Not at all.
There's no
dude.
fucking way. But I didn't tell him no. I wanted to hear him justify how he rents out fucking protesters. So I didn't care what political affiliation he had, but so anybody's welcome if they're interested. Now, we did have another one to email me, and they kept pushing to get the kid on here, and I'm going to call him a kid because he was like 22 or 23 years old, and as soon as they sent the email saying he's a self-proclaimed communist from California, I'm like, I'll pass, because what fucking interest do I have in talking to a 23-year-old who, what the fuck's he going to tell me, for one, about the world? And then when you're on there pushing communism at 23, like you know anything about what's going on with that, I'm not going to sit here and listen to that shit. So stuff like that, of course, I just delete them fucking emails. But they must have been 6 or 7 times they've emailed, like, just following up, just like, tell your fucking 22-year-old
Keep following,
child
brother.
to go play in California, but anyway, so now CSR, you've been invited. You're not right-leaning. You've been invited. Come on the show. Come talk to us. Come school us.
Absolutely.
boy.
Yes,
That's my
indeed.
boy.
That's Caesar, right? Caesar?
That's what we're gonna call him, Caesar.
Yeah. Do we
I
know
have
better? Yeah.
Caesar has a degree in history. Oh,
Awesome.
that's the ones that anybody that's got a degree, anything like history or political science or something like that. Yeah, they're not conservative typically, but I'm just playing with you. No, that's good. No, look, history is fascinating to me if it's taught right. I mean, there's certain things in history that we've learned was false that we grew up believing because that's what they were telling you in school or whatever, And you know how it is.
Yeah.
I mean, the people that write the books are the victorious ones, so it's hard to really believe a lot of it that you read in books because it's like, is it done with a bias? You know what I mean? And that's the problem with a lot of history. But yeah, I know you are, CSR. Blue collar, making money the hard way. No, I was just fucking with you. But that should be another reason. I don't understand a blue collar, middle class person that votes Democrat right now. I don't understand that. At least what the Democrats preach. I mean, they're not doing anything to help the middle class. All they're worried about is their elites and the low class to pander to them for votes. We're going to feed you. We're going to give you whatever the welfare system, just keep it going, make it bigger and better to keep those people on that tit, so to say, So I don't understand what
illegal immigration. Yeah.
Yes, it's hard that anybody that's working and paying taxes in this country doesn't just say, I'm fucking done with this Democratic Party. When you start seeing all the fraud that's being uncovered, like we mentioned the other night, in California, the shit's hitting the fan over there. And then you got, Gavin Newsom, all he can do is sit there and start trying to have a war with Nick Shirley instead of saying, hey, if you're uncovering this kind of fraud, maybe I should look into it. Let me see what's going on. But that's not what you get from them Democrat-run places. All they want to do is start going on a defense real quick and trying to whoever's uncovering it to blow them off as they're just crazy. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They're over here snooping around for no reason instead of saying, damn, well, come sit down and talk to me and tell me what's going on. And maybe I can fix this problem. That's not the approach they take. So anybody who's paying taxes in places like that should definitely be wondering, what the fuck am I doing supporting these people? It's just an odd way that as you said, Brad, from cradle to the grave, man, when you pick a party, that's it.
It is.
That's it. So I don't know.
Some people adhere to it and love it, dude.
Bob Saget said the fraud is fake. That's a funny line.
The fraud is fake.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Democrats wanted 4-day work weeks. I like that, but just think about if 4 is good, imagine how good 3 would be. See, that's what I would run on.
I agree.
I'm running on 3-day work weeks, and I'm going to win because of that. But, that shit, I do believe we're stuck in this 5-day structure. It's you're lucky Henry Ford came along because he was the one who kind of created the weekend because he wanted people to drive. It's like buy cars, drive, go places. So we're going to give people the weekends off. You imagine it just being normal that you're working 7 days a week. I mean, it's just the norm. Like I guess you wouldn't know any different, but it's like, fuck that. I don't like 5 days. I definitely don't want 7. So I'm with the Democrats on that. Let's go to 4, and then the Republicans can come out and run on 3. And we'll just see how low we can get this shit. And hopefully,
before you know it, we'll be working 2 days a week, dude.
Well, hopefully Elon's vision comes true where we're all going to have universal high income, not just basic income. So then we won't have to work at all. That's what I'm shooting for. So what's CSR talking about? Horrible for workers' compensation and benefits. What is Bob Saget talking about? I'm just fucking up. The account is hilarious just because of the name and the picture. But address it, or you are pussies. Address what? That the fraud is fake. That part. I didn't see that part. Well, nothing's been proven.
Nope.
So it's hard to say. I don't know. It's what do you do with that? Because he was accused of it by one side. So now you just run with that and just assume that it's true. It's weird. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
On the other side, you had, Biden's daughter in her diary saying my dad was basically showering me at inappropriate ages. What do we do with that? So,
or Clinton. Clinton was probably the most mentioned guy in Trump's Epstein file. Is he a rapist? I'd like to know, Bob. Let me know about that.
Yeah, I don't understand how
he's got some. Yeah,
we people throw allegations out, and because it's against the party you don't like, therefore it sticks, and now we have to defend it. It's not our job to defend it. It's your job to prove it happened. That's
exactly
all there is to it. I have no reason to defend Trump because so far there's been no proof that he's done anything like that. So therefore,
right.
Bob Saget, show me some proof that he did it. And then maybe we'll all be like, oh, shit, it'll take us all. But there is no proof. There's no proof that Trump did anything like that. So what he said, 30 fake accusations? Come on now. That's anyway. Yeah, I'm reading the comments. I didn't mean to. Y'all don't mind me when I pause for a second. I'm reading through the comments. But anyway, we're not going to win that argument with Bob Saget. So.
We're not going to win it with Bob Saget.
But we do appreciate Bob checking us out. Hit subscribe, Bob. Do that.
Yes, absolutely.
Maybe one day we'll be able to defend it when somebody comes with some proof, which, like I said, if there was proof, there's no defending it. I mean, there's no, I'm not going to be like a grimy defense lawyer and try to get somebody out of trouble that it's been proven that they've done something, to that extent.
Exactly.
So
yeah, just like CSR said, man, they're all sick people, Democrats and Republicans. I 100% agree with you, and it just proves, like he said in the next comment, that they hid the proof that rich are always going to get off. I believe it to this day. There is a two-tier justice system in this country, and it's all about who you are and how much money you have to fight the accusations or charges against you.
Yeah, that's true. Politicians sleep with strange bed partners. Yeah. Let's see. Or the healthcare for actual returns, almost $2 for every dollar spent. It's no brainer. We profit by everyone having healthcare. None of this is going to happen now. But he started that with an or, so I don't know where that started at. I can't keep up.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think Obama for screwing up healthcare, so that ought to really piss you off, Ryan, with that comment. But yeah. You like your doctor, you keep your doctor. You're going to save $2,500 a year. Oh, okay, well, my shit went to $1,500 a year, so.
Well, and they just, a lot of times it's, you go to these doctors or these professionals, these medical professionals, and you don't even know what something's going to cost you until after it's done.
Absolutely.
And it's kind of like
100%.
RFK Jr. was pushing, which I think they're actually working on, and it's a website, so to say, where these places register or have to register that it's basically any other service you would get. You want to know what it's going to cost, and supposedly they're working on something like that where you can go see, and you can compare it. Say there's somebody down the road doing the same service medically. Well, then you can compare prices before you go have these services rendered, because it happens a lot. Like you don't know what the fuck it is till we'll send you a bill. Well, what the fuck is that? Imagine going to the mechanic and then like, yeah, my car's not running right. Well, just leave it here. We'll fix it, and then we'll send you a bill. Like, no, no, motherfucker. What is it, and what is it going to cost me? So they're pushing for that, a little bit of transparency with these prices, man, to where at least maybe it'll make people compete and get some of these prices down when it comes to this medical shit, man. It's hard to survive in this country. It's expensive to survive, I should say.
Oh, absolutely.
It's getting worse and worse, man. It's a shame. Yep. I mean, we got the best healthcare system in the world as far as the technology and the knowledge when it comes to doctors and medicine, but we're one of the most unhealthiest countries in the world also. I mean, it's hard. It's expensive to survive, man. They pump all this poison into you your whole life, and then now you're stuck living off of their fucking pills and shit, later on in life. And it's rough, man. It's hard. Health insurance costs are up sky high for everybody. Shit ain't easy, man. It ain't easy.
Come on, Michael. I don't know if gas will reach $16 a gallon. My God, I hope not. Jesus,
$16. Oh, what are you, 7? Just spitting out numbers?
God damn. I could see maybe California. Yeah, I could see maybe California, dude, but I don't think you'll see that here, dude. But yeah.
People need something. They need health care. we just are so selfish. Yeah, it's hard, man, because you gotta, you want great health care, of course. Well, in order to do that, these doctors, they got to get paid. They got to get paid well. That's what makes them great doctors. A lot of them are incentivized by what you can earn by doing this. So you get the best of the best. Well, you got to pay for that service. That's the problem with all this government-run free healthcare shit. Is how does the quality of service go? What does that turn into when it's all funded by taxpayers, so to say? Because nothing's free. I mean, somebody's still paying for it. But I mean, now what? You got doctors that are making $55,000 a year operating on you? I mean, I don't know how that works. I mean, all I hear is nightmares from Canada. I don't know how true they are. I've never dealt with their medical system. But, I mean, you don't hear much good coming out of there. And there's a lot of times when people need something major done medically, they come to this country to get it. So apparently we do, somewhat have the best of the best over here, but they also make a lot of fucking money, So what do you want? It's hard. You want cheap labor and then sacrifice the quality? I don't know. I don't know what to do to fix that system, man. It's a fucked up one, though. Like I said, man, it's expensive to survive right now, man. It's crazy. Anyway, let's see.
It is.
I hope I'm wrong. They talking about, I hope I'm wrong, but if the oil fields in bomb, the oil stops. I don't know what oil fields he's talking about. Vet for Democracy. I have been on socialized healthcare within the U.S. for over 20 years, still alive, still ticking, right? But not everybody in the country is. I know what you're talking about, probably because of the military. So
VA.
Right. I get it.
Yeah.
But that's a small percentage of the country that has to go through that system. Now imagine clogging that system up with every citizen in the United States that needs medical assistance. Think about that for a second. And I know you're not going to agree with it just because you go against everything we say on here because you're a Democrat, but think about that. And you can't tell me the VA system is perfect if that's what you're talking about, because I just talked to a older gentleman the other day, just in general conversation, and he sat there for 6 fucking hours waiting to be seen at the local VA for whatever he had going on. So it's not a perfect system by any means. Now, like I said, clog that up with 350 million fucking people, and then tell me how efficient you think that's going to run. It's going to be just like your fucking local DMV in these big cities or any other government-run entity. Walk into it and just see how the service is. It's going to be the fucking like the TSA shortage going on in the fucking airports right now. So that's all I'm saying, man.
100%.
I don't think that's the answer, is this national healthcare shit. But what we got going right now seems like there could be some sort of alternative to it. I don't know the answer. I really don't, man. It's a tough one. Because like I said, you want the best doctors and the best medical professionals working on you. But at the same time, it would be nice if it was affordable. So I don't know how you get both of them, to be honest with you.
Never
Well,
gonna
isn't
happen,
it supposed
dude.
to be just like if we eat an apple every day or something like that?
Yeah, keeps the
Well, that'd be
doctor
good.
away.
Right?
Yeah.
Until they do a new study and it's like, oh, apples fucking, give you gonorrhea of the fucking throat or something. There ain't no telling. But, it's it's a shame, man. It's a shame because there is no real answer besides what RFK is trying to do, which is promote a healthier lifestyle to start off with, and then you don't need these doctors as much. You don't need to live on medication your entire life. You don't need to see these specialists every month or every other month or whatever to continue with this service that you're getting from them because you're unhealthy. But the problem is that's not pushed in this country at all. It's the last thing they push is health. Eat right. They tell you all that shit, but then they make it so much easier and affordable to not eat right. And that's what he's trying to change. And I really hope he's able to implement a lot of shit that he's talking about, because I think it starts there, just living a little bit healthier lifestyle as you're younger and getting into that habit. And that keeps the doctor away probably better than an apple. So so we'll see. I like the system he's talking about where it's a color-coded system on food, basically telling you how shitty it is for you. A little scale that they're going to be having to put on packaging these when they package these foods. I kind of like that. At least it gives you the option then, and there's no excuse if you're eating poorly now. Like, you can't say I didn't know. You can still buy it. That's one thing he always preaches. We're not going to tell you you can't buy this trash, but we're going to at least let you know it's trash. And I think that's all we can really ask for. Give us the freedom to put what we want into our bodies, but let us know, hey, there's a consequence to it. Kind of like cigarettes. They warn you. It should kill you. Yep. Do it if you want, but it'll kill you. So,
my choice. My body, my choice, dude. How about
my
that?
body, my choice. That is right,
exactly.
Brad. If you're looking to transition, buddy, I am all with you. Don't worry about it.
There you go. As long as I ain't got to pay for it, dude.
I'll go to Mexico with you to get that surgery done.
It's cheaper over there, bro. That's where medical service is real cheap. So, I mean, have at it.
Yeah.
I ain't letting them off. See, that's what I'm talking about. You can go to Mexico and pay out of pocket for like a fucking kidney transplant, like $4,000. But do you really want to go over there and have them motherfuckers working on you for $4,000? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the problem we face in this country, is that right there. Nobody wants to go to a place where it only costs you $4,000 to have a fucking kidney transplant, but at the same time, people don't want to spend $450,000 doing it either, So it's like, I don't know, pick your poison right now. Either you pay these god-awful amounts of money for your healthcare coverage because the healthcare system costs so much, or you go to Mexico and hope they don't steal your good kidney. So I don't know. I guess I'd rather be paying the higher prices right now. If that's
they might have a trade-in program over there, dude.
There may, dude. You ain't no telling when they cut you open over there, ain't no telling what you're leaving without, if you even make it.
Yeah.
But what do I know? I've never been.
No, exactly.
So.
Not going.
New York jumps to number 3 for U.S. alien abductions. Did y'all know that? Number 3. So they're getting, more prominent. Aliens are here. And like it or not, it's part of what we got going on now, and Trump is going to prove it, and I'm going to tell all of y'all, I told you they were real. So it's coming. It's coming. Breaking news, UFO lands on White House lawn. I don't know about all that, but at this point, I don't know. I mean, they were flying drones around a fucking Air Force base for 4 fucking hours, and they didn't do shit about it. So who knows? Who knows what they could get through now. Anyway. All right, it's 10 o'clock. It's time to shut up. Let's get off of here. We'll be back Wednesday. Like I said, don't forget about our guest. We're going to shit on the media Wednesday night a little bit, see what we can get out of him as far as telling us what's going on behind the scenes and how these decisions are made in the media rooms. I want to know if it's just a big round table meeting of this is the narrative we're going with. I want to remember that. Just like Michael Wilbur said, remember to like and subscribe. Fucking right. I like that. Hey, he can join the team. Anyway.
All right, Michael. Thank you, brother.
Yep. All right. Y'all be good. Join us Wednesday. We'll be back 8:30. CSR. You my dog. Love you. And we'll be back at it. Y'all tell him bye.
Bye.
Adios. God bless.